What we do is that we provide unique educational experiences for students and educators. We do that through an after-school program for young students, and that's called the XR Academy. And for educators, what we do is that we provide professional learning communities and PDs so that educators can learn and understand how to implement this technology into their classroom. I grew up in the Providence School Department, once a student, and now I'm currently an educator in the same school department. So both as a student and as an educator, I see and understand the lack of resources and what the lack of resources can do to a student. Another reason is losing my brother to gun violence, just trying to find an outlet for young folks to have an option so after school they're making better decisions and that would guide them to a positive light. And then ultimately it's kind of finding different ways to make the learning experience fun and exciting for young students. This summer, we was fortunate to have the XR Academy at District Hall. It's a unique program that allows young folks to learn how to design and code 3D environments and 3D models. Right? After they design these 3D environments, they bring everything to life with coding. And it's really unique because students get to share their stories. And after they complete the project, they can either put on a VR headset and sort of immerse themselves inside of that environment that they created, or they could bring it up to their own space through a computer simulation using their digital device and bring it up through augmented reality. So I have students creating exhibits of their favorite countries. A fifth grader designed an exhibit of Cambodia, where he had different elements of Cambodia. He had animals from Cambodia, temples, and then he had characters talking about the history of Cambodia, right? Now, when he shares it with his peers or with his family, they could each put on a headset and kind of like feel what it's like to be in Cambodia from his perspective. And I've had students create everything, their favorite part of their country, a scene from a book that they've read, or even an exhibit of their favorite athletes, such as the exhibit of Michael Jordan, where it's really interactive. You're clicking on pictures and you're learning about the Michael Jordan's career. You can implement this augmented and virtual reality into their classroom. And we don't want to shy away. This is not just science. This can be used for mathematics. It can be used for history. It can be used for ELA. It's available for all subjects. It's a fairly new technology that's being implemented into the classroom. It eliminates the cost of field trips because now students are allowed to immerse themselves in different spaces, different environments that they normally wouldn't be allowed to. It's also the benefits of retaining information a lot faster and for longer periods of time that might result into higher test scores. It's having the ability to have 3D objects that wouldn't normally be accessible inside of these classrooms. Now, there's libraries filled with tons of 3D objects that students can have access to and bring it up while they're learning. You can turn it around, you can look right inside of it. It actually feels real, but it's actually a hologram that students are looking through. That makes that learning experience fun and exciting again, right? It keeps students engaged with what they're learning. You might not see or have the ability to dissect a frog in these adverse communities, in communities in inner cities. But with something this small, like this cube right here, it's called the Merge Cube. Students can pull up artificial artifacts. Students can pull up different science simulations related to science, math, arts, and they'll have all this stuff. There's a library full of it, and they'll have it right there at the palm of their hands at home where they can experiment with this stuff and learn from this stuff. Again, it just makes educating exciting and it makes learning fun.
Uses AR technology so you can see what stuff looks like through this cube.
What kind of stuff did you see using the cube, and like what was your favorite stuff?
The human body, the solar system.
How are you learning about the planets at school that was different how you learned it with the XR Academy?
They just told us what it looked like on a big whiteboard, but with this you can actually see it with your own eyes.
And what's happening?
You are completing different tasks or quests, they call them, which is like a spacewalk, fixing the satellite and stuff like that.